NFL executive says Russell Wilson is washed amid the Sean Payton rumors. I have been told the Broncos have made a decision. They want Sean Payton. Russell Wilson has told the Broncos owners he wants Sean Payton. Here's the dilemma. According to an NFL exec, Denver's got the best tradition. The new owners seem aggressive. They're willing to spend. But I think Russell Wilson's washed, and the lack of draft capital holding him back. The defense is very good, but Mahomes and Herbert aren't going anywhere in that division. So, you think to yourself, if Brian Daboll can get Daniel Jones to the playoffs, can Sean Payton get Russell Wilson to the playoffs? Well, Herbert and Mahomes are not playing in the NFC East. But I think one of the things that Sean Payton has to think about, and it's a real thing, with Daniel Jones, there are some limitations, but they're football limitations. You know what you have. It's right in front of you. But with Russell Wilson, there's self-awareness issues, trying to simultaneously be a football star and elevate Ciara's career issues. There's the isolation issues from teammates. He's got his own office. That's an issue. And his own chiropractor, I'm told. That's an issue. A lot of this stuff is personality, emotional, family stuff. That's way harder. The football stuff for a Brian Daboll or a Sean Payton, that's not as difficult. Wasn't it a little bit, and I'm a Russell Wilson fan, wasn't it a little bit an eye-opener when he left the Seahawks and former teammates, some of them offensive, use words like fake, isolated, not approachable? There's so many things to like about this, and they'll probably pay upwards of $25 million for Sean Payton, but I think I'd pass. Evaluating quarterbacks is certainly not an exact science. I couldn't stand Zach Wilson as a prospect. Joe Douglas of the Jets, a sharp, shrewd young GM, loved him. I met somebody last week, former NFL coach, loved Zach Wilson. Again, I'm just a radio TV guy. I couldn't stand him as a prospect. I didn't like Baker Mayfield as a prospect. I didn't love Jameis Winston as a prospect. I don't know more than GMs. It's inexact. You're not really sure. But here's the one thing that is exact. All the great ones, all of them, have like an approachable feel, kind of relatable. One of the guys, go out drinking on a Tuesday night. You can put your arms around them. That's like the opposite of what you're hearing from former Seahawks and some current Broncos, although a couple of players late in the year did defend Russell Wilson. You got to be a unifier. One of us, relatable, approachable. Can't have your own doctor and chiropractor and therapist. And I look at NFL quarterbacks who have often had their careers implode. It's not the football stuff. Kyler Murray, it imploded. It was the personal stuff. Jay Cutler, personal stuff. Nobody liked him. Jeff George. I know a lot of you don't know who Jeff George is. World-class arm talent. Not enough people liked him. Baker Mayfield butchered the podium. Zach Wilson in New York. I saw a story this weekend. They were rejoicing when he got benched. It's not the football stuff. An older Aaron, an older Russell Wilson, sometimes not viewed as unifiers, aloof, don't spend off seasons with the young guys. I don't know. I think with Russell Wilson, Denver wants Sean Payton. Russell Wilson wants Sean Payton. I think the deal would be done today if Sean Payton said, all right, I'm your coach. And he may. I got to pay a lot of money. The defense is good. And there's some really nice weapons. A star running back got injured. He's back. Tight ends are solid. Receivers are beyond solid. They got a good left tackle. But there's so many hoops to jump through. And sometimes it's just easier to have football stuff to deal with, not like personality stuff. Has Green Bay ever truly figured out Aaron Rodgers? I don't think they have. And those are smart, capable people. They go into meetings with him. They've been around him for 15 years. They still can't quite nail him down on the personality stuff and the off-season stuff. I think if I'm Sean Payton, $25 million is a lot of money. I think I'd pass.
If you're Sean Payton and Denver offered $25 million, you think you'd pass?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because Denver's going to pay probably 18 to 17 million for somebody else. It will reset the market, and you'd make 20 to 25 next year with a better situation.
How do you know there's a better situation next year?
Well, first of all, I know what Belichick makes today and what he makes 10 years ago. So the market gets reset constantly. The NFL coaching market, there's no salary cap. So it gets reset all the time based on, Jim Harbaugh next year comes in. So Harbaugh, I was told they would have gotten about 18 million. Payton will get closer to 25 million. But Sean Payton does very well here. The market just keeps going up. It's not like Sean would be offered 9 next year. He's going to be the best coach on the market this year and next year. Who's available?
I guess the question would be, are you certain that a good job with a potential Hall of Fame quarterback, which is what Russell Wilson is going to be open?
Let me ask you this. Sean McDermott. This happens again next year. You and I would take Sean McDermott.
I would dump McDermott now.
So would I.
Yeah.
They won't do that in Buffalo. Let me ask you this. Chargers don't make the playoffs. I mean, you got Mahomes. I'm just saying.
But the opposite is true. Chargers could face the Bills in the AFC Championship game,
It's possible.
And then neither of those jobs, and then Sean Payton's at home
trying
to come on my podcast or something. Come on.
So you're a young podcaster. When somebody just says, here's a bunch of money, your natural inclination is take it.
No, not always.
I'm a believer in follow good management. There's a sea of money. Sean Payton is doing just fine. I'd rather ask yourself this. Would you rather take a better situation at 18 or the Broncos at 24? Nothing against it.
Yeah, but there is no situation at 18. At least not yet. 7
coaches a year get whacked. 7.
That's fair.
You think next year's the year nobody gets fired? I mean,
Robert Saleh. No,
I'm just saying. I had this discussion with Sean. I actually had this discussion with Sean because he was interviewing, and it's all out there. I'm not disclosing anything. Carolina is interviewed. So, right. And my takeaway, I'd take Arizona over Carolina, and people think that's crazy. But Arizona's got a super talented quarterback. If you look at the history of the NFL, they give us 1-star quarterback a year. 1. Now, because of the cultural changes, there's more good quarterbacks. It's up to 1.5, maybe 2. Okay. You do realize every year 8 teams need it. How long did Miami, they still have never replaced Marino.
Yeah.
Denver had to go buy Peyton Manning, and for about 2 to 3 years they got Elway.
Yeah.
So my takeaway is a job can be great. If you do not have a star at quarterback, it's over.
Okay. I'm going to
Arizona's got one.
Because I like you, I'm going to help your argument.
Yeah.
Houston Texans get the number 1 pick, and they get Caleb Williams. Is that a better job than Carolina, Arizona, Denver?
Yes.
Oh, you know it is. Because look at the 4 quarterbacks left standing in the playoffs.
Yeah.
None of their big money deals have kicked in yet. You need that quarterback on the rookie deal.
Houston.
That's going to be a great job next year, assuming they get the number 1 pick.
So my takeaway is Sean Payton. Would you rather go in with a ton of cap space for 4 years, draft capital, and Caleb Williams? Whoever gets Drake May, the kid from Carolina, he's another A-plus player. Next year, we've got 2 Trevor Lawrence-ish level players.
Yeah.
So stay at Fox. You think you can solve everything. Russell Wilson's dilemmas are beyond football. There's the isolation, the self-awareness, Ciara's career. There's a lot of stuff that Sean Payton's not a therapist. He's a football coach. Now, coaches all think they can do it all. They can't. You got to be so my point is, if the league next year, we're going to have multiple teams, not tanking, but multiple teams vying for Caleb Williams and Drake May. I don't remember a year, and I don't. It may be the Marino Elway year where we had 2 A++ candidates. These kids are great players. You don't get that. You get like a Trevor Lawrence and then a bunch of Justin Fields, Trey Lance, who could work in the right situation. Next year is 2 guys, they're going to work, and you fire the coach after a year if he can't figure it out. Like Trevor Lawrence was, Urban's not working. Get him out of here. This kid's going to win the division with the right coach. Boom, they did, and they did. That's what Caleb Williams and Drake May are. Those guys are different.
I like that idea of Sean Payton waiting a year for one of those 2 jobs.
Or one of those 2 jobs, or the possibility of the 7 other openings one of them would have a good quarterback. So next year you get two things. You get 7 job openings. One should have a good quarterback and 2 superstar quarterbacks.
What do they say? Patience is a virtue?
That's right.
So that could apply here to Peyton and
Denver. No draft capital. Yeah. Not enough picks. Quarterback issues.
And we win, too, because that means Peyton gets to come on here and regale us with tales.
Selfishly?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm all in on that, yeah.